Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live stream. We are now live over on YouTube and we are live over on Facebook. And it is absolutely wonderful to have you with us this evening in the UK, but I know people are watching from all over the world. So with that said, please drop me a note in the comments and tell me where you are. We always love to see all the different countries come past. We have such an amazing global community, and it is such a joy to have you on live with us. So I'm Lorraine. I'm your host for this evening. Well, co-host actually. I'm the CEO of Formula Botanica, and my darling children have given me a cold. So I'm going to struggle a little bit, which is why I'm thrilled that I'm joined by my co-host, Wayne, this evening, who you may have already seen before on the live webinar that we hosted last week. Wayne, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Lorraine. So I'm Wayne. I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Formula Botanica, and I have the pleasure in getting the message, Formula Botanica's message, out to the world. So my role involves basically taking our sort of messages and just reaching as many people as we can with them. And if you've joined us for the masterclass, you'll know that right now we are trying to tell the world, to tell everyone that formulation is fun, easy, and empowering. Like, that is everything we're trying to do right now. So yeah, we've been working really hard on the masterclass with the team, and yeah, very, very excited to hear these stories.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a very special panel for you this evening. Well, I know it's not even for everywhere, for you everywhere. We've got 2 or possibly 3, hopefully, graduates who are going to be joining us who have gone through our International Organic Skincare Entrepreneur Program. But just as Wayne said, just to quickly start off, we've obviously been teaching our free masterclass over the last 2 weeks. We now have almost 43,000 people in there. I will say the masterclass disappears on Tuesday at 4 p.m. UK time, and then it will be gone. And we don't know when it will be back, and we don't know if it will be back in the current form, and we don't know what it will look like if it does come back. So if you want to make the most of it, now is your chance. And we also have opened up enrollment for our International Organic Skincare Entrepreneur Program, which, well, we've been enrolling hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students since we opened up on Wednesday, and enrollment for that also closes on Tuesday at 4 p.m. UK time. And just so you know, I have a real-time student counter behind me. So if you watch it tick over while we're talking, here it is, then you know what that means. We currently have 14,355 students. So let's see if we can enroll a couple in the next hour. So I think let's start with some introductions. And I'm going to go with the person on my right, probably not on your right at all, but that's Christy. Christy, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me, Lorraine. And I'm so excited to be here. I am wonderful. I am the founder and formulator of Savari Naturals. And I'm very excited to be here and tell my story and share my business message with everyone.
Well, it's lovely to have you with us. Where are you in the world at the moment?
I'm based in North Carolina, United States. I'm originally from Maryland, and we moved down here to North Carolina in 2019.
Excellent. Well, we'll get more into your story in a minute, as you already alluded to. I'm just going to move over to Cindy, who is also joining us as a guest tonight on our graduate panel. Welcome, Cindy. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing wonderful. I'm so happy to be here. I am the co-founder of Kaylee Cosmetics, along with my daughter, and we do natural color cosmetics and natural skincare. And I'm happy to share how Formula Botanica has really changed my life and the lives of our family.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. Well, I can't wait to get stuck into your stories, and maybe that's where we should start. We do have a third graduate who we're hoping to bring on. We're having a couple of tech issues, but hopefully we'll be able to welcome her on shortly. So let's go in the order I went with. Christy, can you tell us what your brand is called and why you started it, and a bit about, what you make?
Yeah, so my brand is called Savari Naturals, and these are our 2 products here, Luna Face Oil and Noctis Body Oil. So how I got started, well, I'm a huge nature lover and nature girl, I guess you could say, and plants are my passion. So that's kind of the backbone of my business is plants, a heavy focus on plants. And also, I grew up around small business owners, entrepreneurs. So it was in my upbringing. I saw that it was in my household. And so being around business owners growing up, when I was about a teenager, I said to myself, I could do that. I could open up my own small business. And that dream started there. And I'm also a practicing herbalist as well. So I thought in the beginning that would look like an herbalism shop or something along those lines. So I had this dream. And then fast forward, I was in my mid-20s and I had my son. So he was a newborn. And I revisited that dream because I really started to question myself. Where is that thing that I want to do? Where is that, what do I want to do in my life that's going to contribute to my family and to others around me, and taking that passion that I have for plants and herbs. So I started to do a lot of research and about all my interests and everything. And I stumbled upon Formula Botanica, and I was like, whoa, this is a perfect fit, because it was talking about science and formulation and all of the beautiful aspects to make your own skincare. And not just that, but also using natural ingredients. So your plant extracts, oils, butters, clays, herbs. And I was like, wow, this is so amazing. So I ended up enrolling March 30th, 2017. And Lorraine, I want to tell you this because I'm a big believer in signs, and I thought it was a really interesting thing that happened. I enrolled on that specific date, and exactly 3 years later to the day, March 30th, 2020, my business was legally signed into existence by the Secretary of State. So I had no control over when they signed that. So it was 3 years to the day from when I enrolled and when my business began. So yeah, that was an amazing experience. But yeah, my whole family they're plant people. And one of my biggest inspirations in my life is my grandpa. He's a horticulturalist, and so he has an extensive knowledge on plants and has taught me so much about our plant world and just growing plants, being in nature, and just having this deep connection with our natural world has been ingrained into me ever since I was a little child. So now that I get to formulate with natural ingredients from our earth, it's this beautiful, beautiful gift that I get to share with other people, my customers, and educate them about how nature supplies us with just about everything we need. And we can nurture our skin, our bodies, our mind, body, and soul with the ingredients from our earth. And that's a part of my mission, is to help educate people about nature, about natural ingredients, how we can support our skin health. And these are ingredients that our body recognizes. It's not synthetic stuff that our body doesn't know what to do with and registers it as a toxic ingredient. These are natural ingredients from our planet. And through Formula Botanica, we learn how to formulate properly and safely. For example, essential oils, dermal limits, knowing how to formulate correctly and safely with essential oils, or anything you're making, preservation for lotions. So there's so much information, especially within the entrepreneur program with Formula Botanica, that it's so valuable, so valuable.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Of course.
It's absolutely wonderful to hear. Now, I will say, for everyone listening today and tuning in live, we will be taking your questions as well from the audience. If you have a question, please do post it up and we will see it. Doesn't matter if you're on Facebook or YouTube. And I think we've been joined by Myrlande. Can you hear me? Hello. Do we have audio? I'm not sure.
Oh, we don't have audio. Okay. I couldn't test the audio on live, so
we'll get. Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Awesome. We can just about hear you. Do you want to just introduce yourself for everyone watching, and then I'll come to you, Cindy, for your story.
Hi, everyone. My name is Milan. I am a Botanica graduate, proud. I am the owner and formulator for Express Naturel. I joined Formula Botanica right when I was at a desperate need for skincare. I was going through some issues with my skin. My daughter was going through some issues with her skin, and my skin issues started after I had heart surgery. I had 2 heart surgeries actually after my daughter was born, because I had some issues with I had a heart defect that I didn't know I had And thank God for my GP, who was very good doing his due diligence. And he made sure I got an MRI, and they found out that I had the defect. And right at my daughter's 8th month, they said, oh, it's time for surgery. And I had the surgery. And it turns out I had to have 2 surgeries because I caught E. coli in my heart. And that started a whole thing with having to take antibiotics, which I was on for almost 2 years. And my skin's microbiome just went bananas. And from then on, I just started having this hormonal acne. And it was deep, deep cyst on my face. And my skin, you know, the way my skin looked, it really affected my confidence. So I started searching for the just natural remedies. And I'm Haitian. You know, I come from a background where Haitian people are really big on self-care and really big on using nature to deal with, you know, skincare, health, hair care, your inner health. So I had to go back to that to find the solutions that I couldn't get with the synthetic products out there. And Forna Botanica was like, you know, when I finally did find Forna Botanica, it just opened the whole world for me that I didn't know existed. And it helped bring me back to my roots. You know, with the things that I learned from my parents, the thing I learned from my mom and how my grandmother was, you know, with using plants for every basic need. And just like Christine was saying, everything is found in nature. Nature has everything you need. You don't need the synthetic stuff. Not that it doesn't work, but everything is found in nature. So to help you have beautiful, nourishing, you know, healthy skin.
Yes. Well, it's wonderful to hear your story, and I'm so glad that you could join us this evening. This is really great that we managed to get you on and we managed to get the tech working.
Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties.
Oh, don't worry about it. That's the joy of webinars. It's always the case. Something always breaks, so don't worry about it. So we've heard Christy's story to start with. We've heard Milan's story to start with. Cindy, over to you. Tell us about your brand and why you started.
Yes. Our brand is Kaylee Cosmetics. I'm the co-founder along with my daughter, Annie. And these are bakuchiol products. And then we've got our niacinamide products, which we're just in the process of launching. My story's a little bit different. I am 2nd generation and my daughter is 3rd generation in cosmetics. And my mother was in it for about 50 years. She had one of the top studios in the nation for many years, and just in the Rio Grande Valley. And I kind of grew up in cosmetics. And when I got older, I was a CPA and I came back to my roots, and I opened stores and purchased stores just like my mother did. And I had 8 stores at one time. And I moved from that franchise into beauty boutiques where we carried brands like Smashbox and Jane Iredale and Too Faced and just a lot of different brands. And that was a lot of fun. And when we were doing that, we decided to go ahead and private label a line. So our first brand was called Chalet, and we private labeled. Then we found that we really couldn't differentiate ourselves in the color world. And so I purchased some formulas for color cosmetics, and we started making our own. And that led to finding Formula Botanica, which was truly life-changing for me and for my family. We learned to formulate not just color cosmetics, but skincare. And we're so excited to be launching our skincare products. Also with our color cosmetics, it's really taken it to a new level because we're able to, my knowledge of the different oils and plant-based silicone alternatives. So we're really able to formulate color cosmetics that are good for the skin, that won't clog the pores, that because of the silicone alternatives have that nice slip to it. And of course, all natural iron oxides and micas, basically. And we've just really enjoyed I've enjoyed my journey at Formula Botanica. And my son works in production, so we have a private label company as well. So we started mostly in color cosmetics, but now we're doing more and more skincare. And our private label company is called Indigo Private Label. We just got our largest order, which is for 100,000 units of skincare.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it is amazing. And if it weren't for Formula Botanica, we would just be doing, smaller color orders. But skincare, getting into that has just changed our life. And it's just been a lot of fun, and it's been a lot of joy. And I'm so happy to be able to work with my son and my daughter in this. So.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible, and thank you so much for sharing your story as well. And I had the pleasure of speaking with all three graduates earlier this week to sort of find out a little bit about them before this interview. And yeah, all of their stories are all different, but all hopefully inspiring in some way. And I think what really stood out, Cindy, when we spoke, was the fact that you have your son and your daughter working with you, and I love that. I did say I would love one day if I could get to a point where I can work with my children, as in I'm happy to work with them. That would be amazing. Firstly, I'm sure we're going to need a few more years for that. And B, just the fact that they would want to work with me would be incredible as well. So the fact that you've created that is amazing. Yeah, well done. Absolutely awesome. And I think when I spoke to all of you, the thing that we'd love to know, and what would be really interesting, is really what type of products are you selling, and why those products? So what products have you created, and why those? And Christy, do you want to start off for us?
Oh, yeah, sure. All right. So these are my products: Luna Face Oil.
Amazing.
And Noctis Body Oil. And I started with oils because, for one, of the stability. I still make emulsions and stuff like that, but starting off with oils, and it was my first time in business, testing the waters of the market was a big thing. But also, before learning about oils, I was probably like everybody else, thinking mineral oil, olive oil, just thick, greasy. I don't want to put that on my skin. And that was the view that I had of oils before learning how to formulate. So when I started learning about the extent of how many plant-based oils are out here, and how nourishing they are for the epidermis, I was mind blown, and I fell in love with them. They are what I use every single day on my face and my body. I love these oils so much. Luna Face Oil is really fast absorbing, and it helps nurture the different layers of the epidermis, and also improve moisture and skin barrier integrity, and the same with Noctis as well. This beautiful blue color that you see comes from, thank you, comes from blue tansy essential oil. And we also have Bulgarian lavender in this one as well. There's pomegranate seed oil, pumpkin seed oil, blackcurrant seed oil, elderberry extract, vitamin E. And then Luna Face Oil has hemp seed oil, Sacha Inky seed oil, blackcurrant seed oil again, elderberry extract, vitamin E, cypress essential oil. If I'm remembering everything, Bulgarian lavender. But anyway, you get the point. These are beautiful, and I really saw my skin improve because I have dry skin. And that's something that I battle with. And especially when the seasons change, especially right now, this is so beneficial for my skin because it seeps right in, and it seals that hydration and moisture into my skin. So I like to mix this with water as well to get that hydration factor. But oils have changed my life. And also, down the road, I want to add more products to our line so that we have a full range that people can use, and to really create a ritual experience. And another aspect of my business is it's not just how you're nurturing your skin, it's also how you're nurturing your mind and your soul. So taking a moment to really slow down when you're in the bathroom and you have a million things to do that day, and you have a to-do list this long, get to a place where you can close your eyes, center yourself, smell the aroma of the essential oils that are designed to calm the nervous system down, and take a moment to really reconnect with you, connect with nature through using ingredients that are derived from nature. So there's this whole deep, holistic mindfulness aspect that we also like to educate our customers on, because I think it's really important that we get to a place where we can appreciate who we are, our bodies, no matter our size, our shape, whatever it may be, what skin condition. My husband has psoriasis, so I've seen that affect him. And being able to formulate natural products, I've been able to help him with psoriasis. And so legally, I can't say that in my business. I can't talk about, psoriasis,
Yeah.
psoriasis, eczema, and all that. But I have seen how natural ingredients have really improved not just my skin, but the skin of my customers, my husband, people in my family. And that is so amazing, because my whole thing is I want to help people, and it's all about my customer. It's all about, inspiring people. It's always going to be about the other person and making sure that they're getting the best quality.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. What a story. And yeah, I mean, your brand goes so deep. You've obviously put a lot of thought into it. And yeah, you know where you're coming from, and you know where you're going with that. So yeah, that's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Myrlande, would you like to introduce your products as well, and the why and the where from?
Yes. My products I have here. You have Nuri multi-purpose moisturizer, and
Wow.
this is one of the first ones I started working on when my daughter was having issues with her skin. I went through about 25 tries before I got this right, until I can actually see her skin just getting nourished and staying moisturized. And she was no longer itching. So I created this one basically for her. And then I did Nuri Naked, which is one without essential oils. Just, for some people that, can't use essential oils because of their skin sensitivities. But every product I make, and I also have Claire. Claire is a powdered cleanser that basically you control your cleanse. It's an exfoliant, and it's a cleanser, it's a moisturizer, and all these products, they do more than one job. I like products that multitask. You get more bang for your bucks. So basically,
Amazing.
and every product I have, and this one is Eclair, and Haitian Creole, this means, to illuminate, to glow. And this is my glow serum. This is my baby right here. This has helped my skin for when I was going through, and I think a lot of people too have said some of the problems they've had with their skin, this has really helped. And I know I can't say that either, but it gives you more than just a glow. It helps to nourish your skin, and to if you're having problems with hyperpigmentation, it helps to slowly fade those marks, which really helps restore your skin's confidence. Every product that I make has hibiscus in one way or another, either as an extract or the oil, or in case of Claire, the exfoliant. So
Amazing.
that is hibiscus is basically the unofficial natural and national flower of Haiti. And
Oh
it's been
wow.
used. Yes, I knew when I started my brand, I needed a bit of my culture in there.
Yeah, that's lovely.
And the fact that hibiscus is one of the things that I drink every day to keep my blood pressure low. Even though I don't have high blood pressure, I have to keep my pressure lower than an average person. And this keeps me off having to take meds. So I use hibiscus inside and on my skin. So that's one of the reasons why hibiscus is one of the star ingredients of my skincare. And I use Amazonian butters and fair trade coconut butter in my moisturizer, and along with jojoba oil, calendula. All the products, all the ingredients I use, or everything has a purpose, even down to the scents that I use, essential oils. It's not just there. There's a reason for it. It's gonna do something for your skin and help nourish you from the inside out. So
yeah, you can really feel that in both of you, the way you're sort of expressing your products, what's in them, and I love it because they come from a wellness side as well, which is really, really nice. And yeah, that's lovely. That's sort of, yeah, very much part of the mission of what we're trying to achieve here. So thank you very much for sharing. And Cindy, would you like to introduce some of your products as well?
Yes, I'd love to. As I said, we started out in color cosmetics.
Oh, Lorraine's got them over
And
there as
moved
well.
to
Look.
skincare. Oh, great. This is our multitasking duo, and we put probiotics in all of our products. And the great thing is now our color cosmetics are also great for your skin. This has about 3 different plant-based silicone. Because we came from mainstream cosmetics, we expected to have the same feel, the same nice textures, the same color payoff that women are used to. Because our goal was to make it easy for our customer to move from traditional cosmetics to naturals. And actually, some of the major retailers have called us the bridge between traditional and natural cosmetics. So, but this is, I researched quite long and hard to find a probiotic that would work in oil-based cosmetics. And all of our products are also multitasking because our target customer is about 25 to 45 in that age range. Of course, when we rebranded, we really had to hone in on, who we were making these products for, who our customer is. And I'm turning 60 this year, and I still love them. So they're for everybody, but they're targeted for that age group. We are waiting for our packaging to come in. This is our multi-stick. And once again, multitask, eyes, cheeks, lips, all over. And it has probiotics. And we're excited about our new packaging. It's got that nice flick to it. So, our first skincare product was also the Tropical Melt, which is our cleansing balm. But the nice thing about that is it can also be used as a mask. And you can put it on elbows, knees, anywhere where you need a little bit of extra moisture. And it's a makeup remover. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. It also has bakuchiol. And it has kakadu plum for vitamin C. It has all the nourishing oils in it as well. I really worked to make sure that the oils I used were non-comedogenic, because in that age group, women can still have breakouts. So they're dry oils so that it doesn't feel very oily on the skin. And I'm so thankful to Formula Botanica because I was really able to not just cookie cutter make these products, but research the ingredients and know everything that's going into it. So
it's just wonderful to hear. All 3 of you are wonderful. And I will just say, I've got Kaylee Cosmetics products here, so I've just been holding them up, as your hand model while you were talking.
Oh, thank you.
No, it's really lovely. And I love the fact, as you said, that so many people go through our courses and everyone creates something different, and you all put your love and passion into it in a different way, and you all bring a story to it in a different way, and that's what makes it so special. And I love the fact that you've all done the same program, but you've all created something completely different, which is amazing to see. So just a quick reset for those of you watching. We're doing a live graduate panel. So we've got 3 graduates here who have gone through Formula Botanica's International Organic Skincare Entrepreneur Program, which is currently open for enrollment until Tuesday at 4 p.m. UK time. And we've enrolled hundreds and hundreds of new students over the last 4 days already. I'm losing track. It's Sunday. And so if you want to join, if you want to change your life, if you've been in the masterclass and you want to take that next step, you only have 48 hours left, I'm afraid. And after that, it will be closing down until the next intake, which will be in the spring. So with that said, if you have a question for one of our graduates, they have done this. They have, stood in your shoes at one point and thought, should I buy this program? And then what am I going to do with it? So if you have any questions about how these amazing entrepreneurs started their brand, then put them in the chat. And I can see a couple of questions coming in already. But one question I have for the 3 of you, actually, and maybe we should try and keep our answers short, because I can see lots of questions coming in. But one question I have for the three of you is, what was the biggest struggle you faced when you were first starting out with your brand? Because I hear a lot of people talk about, the different mindset struggles they have, or financial struggles, but what was your biggest struggle? I'm going to come to you first, Milan, because you're at the top of my screen.
Okay. I think my biggest struggle was, just having that confidence and, being able to go out there and not compare myself with everybody else, because you see this brand and you don't know everybody's journey. So my biggest struggle, I'd say, was just believing in myself and just looking at myself and my journey and what I need to do, and not looking at somebody else and comparing myself, and just walking in my own journey.
I love that. And you know what? I know a lot of people listening will recognize themselves in what you just said, because I think almost everyone goes through that to a certain degree. What about you, Cindy? What was the biggest struggle you faced when you were first starting out?
I think the biggest struggle I faced was honing it in, because there's so much knowledge and you learn to make so many different products at Formula Botanica. And I wanted to do everything. So I really honed it in. Like, for instance, our emulsion, we have one emulsion, but it has vitamin C, it has wild pansy for hyaluronic, it has all the tropicals and probiotics. So I kind of was able to put everything in one product rather than launching, 5 different ones. So I had to kind of reel it in and be realistic, and one product at a time.
And that's great. And you know what? Again, I've heard so many people say that over the years. They've sort of gone, oh, but I want to do all of them. And I have actually watched graduates launch with all of them, and it never ends well. That exactly as you said, you've got to hone it down. You've got to figure out what you're going to start with, and then grow organically from that, unless you want to, go in with a giant splash straight away. But you do need some significant backing to do that. So, Christy, what about for you? What was the biggest struggle you faced when you were first starting your brand?
Yes, I would say kind of time management for each thing that you have to do, because I do everything myself, and my husband helps me with what he can help with. And I like to tell a lot of people that being a small business owner is like having 10 full-time jobs, because you are in control of so many different aspects. And kind of going back to what Myrlande said, that having that confidence in the beginning, it's so quick, just everything all comes at once, and you have all this responsibility of business ownership, and it's a lot of hard work. So finding that time management, and also not comparing myself to anybody else, and realizing and recognizing that I'm on my own journey, and I learned over this past year of being in business that I have to slow down and just take my time. It's about the journey, and just to enjoy the entire process as well.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And yeah, it's interesting. I think those tips are invaluable for anyone starting out. It's hard sometimes, I think, when you've launched and you're there and you've gone through the journey that you've all gone through studying with Formula Botanica. Sometimes it's hard to remember maybe where you were at the beginning, but that, I think, will ring true for a lot of people who are probably at that phase now, and hitting those same problems or those same blockages. So it's great to hear from you guys here that you've hit the same challenges, the same blockages, and now look where you are with your fabulous brands and fabulous products. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So I guess next, it would be really nice to know what's required to start your own indie beauty brand. So when you launched, what did you need? How did you start? What was required? And maybe go to Milan first.
Well, with launching, I know I had the finances, but I had to crowdfund. And I crowdfund right in the middle of COVID, which was horrid.
Wow.
Because here I am crowdfunding, and then COVID hits, and I'm feeling terrible about asking people to contribute to my business. So, but it was successful. So I'm very grateful, because so many people, just, believed in me and actually sowed a seed to my business, which really was so motivating. So, and my problem was too, packaging, trying to find the best package, because I knew I needed to be sustainable. From the very beginning, I knew that my brand had to promote, the planet, helping the planet, and I didn't want to go plastic. as far as I'm concerned, I wanted to do the best quality packaging because I didn't want to put great ingredients into just anything. And I find that when you come out as a small brand, a lot of the big companies don't really want to deal with you. And I know that's beginning to change a little now, but I got rejected quite a bit. So I had to deal with that until I actually found something that was just perfect for my brand. I started using I found Myrlande glass. And at first I was like, oh, so many people are using that. I don't want to be like everybody else. But the more I researched it, the more I learned about it, I just fell in love with it. I love that. It's just an old way of preserving products. And I was like, that is just perfect. And it helps the planet. So it was packaging.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
Yeah, very cool. And it sounds like it sounds like throughout this journey, you've hit those blockages and you found your way around. And I think crowdfunding your launch is absolutely awesome. You know, nothing was going to stop you, and you were going to make it happen. And I think we see often, obviously, sat here behind the scenes, we see very often the financial constraints that people have, but we also see and hear very very creative stories of how people didn't see that as a blockage. They didn't see it as a barrier. They found a way around it. They were going to do it, and they just did whatever they had to do to make it happen. So yeah, well done. And yeah, lovely to hear that. So thank you. Cindy, do you want to share the same? So what did you have when you launched? How did you launch?
For us, it was just a leap of faith and always believing that we were going to get there, that this was going to be a great business. Because, of course, I had my son and my daughter and their futures and their lives. This is what they wanted to do. And so it was very much a leap of faith. We're thrilled now that, we're really doing well. We're self-funding. With that large order, we're going to use the first part of it, of course, for machinery to scale up. We're buying a mixer to do emulsions where we can do 100 liters in one batch. So it's
incredible.
And the packaging, of course, that packaging was very expensive because if you do custom, you have to buy in very large quantities. So it was an investment, and it was a leap of faith for us.
Amazing. And it was, I'll just say, really interestingly, it was when we spoke, you were telling me about the fact that you've bought a new premises and you're moving out of where you are, and you're going from, I think it was 1,200 square feet to something like 7,000. Like the business is, really expanding. And I mean, I want to bring that out because, that's, we were talking about it. You hit these milestones along your journey, and sometimes the milestones start small initially, and sometimes they get bigger as you go. And it sounds like you've certainly hit another milestone, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you for sharing. Sorry, Lorraine, I cut you out.
No, that's brilliant. I love hearing these stories. Incredible. And it's good for people to hear what it's like when you're first starting out, because I think a lot of people are sat there going, can I do this? I don't know if I can do this. And then of course you start that self-doubt that you were talking about, Myrlande. You're talking to yourself going, I'm not sure if I'm the right person to do this. But actually, I love the fact that we all go through these phases, and then look at where all three of you have got to already. I was about to ask Christy a question. Oh, no. And we've lost her. So she'll be back soon, I'm sure. So what I wanted to ask actually was about your customers. So what sort of feedback do you get from your customers, Myrlande? And the reason I ask this is we talk a lot about changing our lives, but actually we're also having that amazing ripple effect. So what sort of feedback do you get?
Well, my customers, I've said they're getting more from the products than they expected. They gave it a try, and I think one customer said that I am not highlighting the benefits enough, because they were just amazed by how their skin changed within a short period of time.
Wow.
And so I was like, wow, okay, did I do that? So and I have customers. I have male customers now that are even using the glow serum, and they're loving it. And then they're asking, well, can we be a little bit more inclusive as far as the packaging? So I'm listening to the comments. So we're working on some things, but I've gotten some really great feedback that I wasn't prepared for. I knew it was a great product, but the feedback that I received, it really gave me motivation yeah, okay, I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right thing here.
Am I on?
Oh,
Amazing. You're back.
Yeah,
Hi,
I dropped
Christy.
out. I'm back. Good.
It's the joys of going live. Honestly,
Yes.
you would not believe the things that have happened to me over the years. Nothing phases me anymore. So I was about to ask you a question before you ran
Yes.
off, but we're delighted that you made it back again. Well, the question I wanted to ask you was, what was your biggest worry when you were starting out?
Well, let's see. I guess, funding was a little bit difficult because we are self-funded. So there's only as much capital as we had. We had savings that we saved up a couple years before launching the business. So that really helped with packaging and the labels and boxes and everything. There's a lot of things about business that people don't fully consider until they get into it, that there's a lot of cost involved. So that was kind of stressful and worrisome in the beginning, but we pushed through and we made sure it happened. And finding packaging was like a huge thing because we are also very environmentally focused. So glass was important and also recyclable materials as well. So nature and environment is a big focus for us.
Amazing. Well, I can obviously tell. I mean, the packaging you have is very beautiful.
Thank you.
So I'm going to pull up a couple of audience questions because they are coming in thick and fast. And I know we've answered quite a few as we've been going through, which is why I haven't pulled any up yet. But I've got one for you actually, Cindy, which is, where do you sell your products? And I think you've got some big news as well, haven't you, about potential retail partnerships, I believe.
Yes, we have. We are launching as we speak on Macy's. My daughter was really fortunate to go through the Macy's mentorship program, which I would encourage any Formula Botanica graduate. If you can get in that program, it's fantastic. They've been so generous and wonderful and mentoring us, which is great. We're in talks with two major retailers. One of them is through Addit. We presented, they were very excited about us. The thing they were most concerned about is that we make all of our products. And like, for instance, the new micellar that we just launched has 5% niacinamide. And we're such a cute, fun brand. So they're really telling us to drive home the ingredients because people don't think, they don't realize how powerful our products are because they're so cute and fun. So that's our biggest challenge, is showing that. But we have two other major retailers that would be a dream come true. Hopefully we are able to get in there in the next few months. So
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And these stories are just remarkable to see where everyone's come from and where they're going. And obviously, having spoken to you, I know a bit more about sort of the beginning, but absolutely fascinating. And we've got another question here. So your workshop. So did you start from your kitchen or had a separate room just for your brand? So Myrlande, do you want to take that one? Would you be happy to answer that one?
Yes, started right in my kitchen. Yes, start small.
Okay.
Start in my kitchen, and we're hoping, in the near future to branch out and have, our own place. But you start small and grow big.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing. And we've heard this so much. I mean, we've had the pleasure of speaking to so many of our graduates and so many of them start that way. So lovely to hear. And was it the same for you, Christy?
Yeah, it was actually. So I started in my kitchen and also a spare bedroom that we had in our previous home. And so before I got the little heat plates and everything, I would formulate in my kitchen. And then there was not enough space in there, so we had an extra bedroom because our son slept with us in our room, and started formulating in there, which was great to have that separate space. So, there is a little bit of an investment involved in getting, materials such as hot plates and stuff like that if you want to separate your formulation space from your kitchen. And it's more sanitary as well that way.
Amazing.
I'm going to grab a question now. Oh, my throat's starting to go. Right, we've got one here from Veronica, which I'm going to ask to you, Cindy, because you touched on this a little bit earlier as well when we talked about honing it down. So Veronica says, and I know that this might be a how long is a piece of string sort of answer, but let's go with it. How many products are recommended to start your cosmetics line? And what would you say to someone asking that question?
I would say we get this all the time with Indigo Private Label. Entrepreneurs want to create this huge line. And what we try to do is get them to hone it in and really find one hero product, one fantastic product, because it takes a lot in packaging. You've got to get your boxes, you've got to formulate. So I would say start with one product and create the most fabulous product you can and make your mark with that. And then from there, grow your brand.
That's great advice and absolutely spot on because, you know, as you said earlier, it is really hard to hone it down in the beginning, but it's best to start small and just test the market and make sure that, you know, you have a model that works, that people really buy into your products, that they buy into your brand story. It's a really good way of testing how things go. Now, we've had a couple of questions in, and I saw one from you earlier, Maura, so thank you for following along because I've seen you in the chat. I'm just going to put this one up from Nadine because it's essentially the same question. How do you market your products? So Milan, I'm going to ask you, how do you market your products? Do you use someone to help you? Do you have an external agency, or do you do it all yourself?
I'd have to say me and my husband, we do it ourselves. And my husband is basically my right-hand man. He doesn't want to be in the forefront, but he's in the background. He's my operations. He's everything else that I can't always be. So we work together to come up with a marketing strategy. And we do it ourselves for now.
I think that's a very common story.
Always be the case.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a very common story. That's how everyone starts out. That's how I started out. And then Wayne came and joined me, which made life a lot easier as well. Christy, how about you? How do you market your products?
We're in the same boat. My husband helps me as well when he can. He works full time. So when he's free on the weekends, he'll help me out. But yeah, all marketing is done ourselves. And I've had to learn a lot about marketing, and you'd be surprised if you haven't opened your skincare line yet, how much you need to know about marketing. And I think I learn about it every single day, something new, a new aspect, because it's ever changing. So we use social media. I have a newsletter as well. And then I've done a couple things in my local community, not to the extent that I would like to, but that's something for the future. So yeah, it's all done by us. We're learning every day. Hopefully in the future we can have someone help us with that.
Amazing. Yes. And I think, again, yeah, it's so common in the community to hear those stories and to hear how people have launched and the fact that, you know, often it starts with one and it builds over time. And yeah, that's lovely. It's nice to grow organically that way as well. And so speaking of the community, it'd be lovely to know how the Formula Botanica community has helped you on your journey. So now sort of starting to pivot towards understanding how being a part of a community and how other graduates and formulators in the community have helped you. And Cindy, would you like to take that one first?
Certainly. I have really felt fortunate to have the Facebook group and to have the community, because along the lines, for instance, we have a self-tanner with DHA, and I struggled and I pulled my hair out to really get the color to stay. For instance, the micellar, I had several questions about hydrosals. Also glycerites, I learned from the community. There's just so much knowledge. If I had a question, I would put it out there. And I had so many Formula Botanica mentors and students really giving me some valuable, wonderful input on my questions. And plus, I just learned so much. That's how I learned to make my own hydrosals, to make my own glycerites for our products. It's just an incredible knowledge base. And it's on top of what you learn in the course. Which is
amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. That's lovely to hear. It's lovely to hear how it impacts. And Myrlande, would you like to take that one as well? How has the community helped you with your brand and
I
getting to where you are
find,
now?
yes, I think being in the community, it's totally different because although everybody is basically trying to work towards their own brand, nobody's in competition with each other. And just like Cindy said, if you had a question, you can go in a forum and everybody's just chiming in. And then when somebody wins, everybody wins because everybody's just encouraging each other. It's such a beautiful community to be a part of. And you can always go back in, even as a graduate, you can go back in, you can offer your own advice, or you can still go in and ask for advice. And everybody just pitches in. And even down to the faculty, it's everybody's in the same boat and we all trying to lift each other up. And I love that.
That's amazing. Thank you very much for sharing. And Christy, would you like to take the community question?
Well, I second what Myrlande and Cindy say, that the group, the Formula Botanica group, you learn so much. If you have a question, there's so many people that jump in and help you understand this problem that you're having. So that has been amazing. Also, the friendships that I've met along the way and throughout the years, I still have those friendships from my formulation journeys, and we encourage each other and we talk all the time in messages. And I did an interview with another Formula Botanica student. We connected that way and we got to talk to other people that are formulating as well and who own businesses. So you have this beautiful community where you get to create all these wonderful relationships with people, and you're always supporting each other, cheering each other on. And it's amazing to see what other brands are creating. And you all have this community where you just kind of cozy up to each other and, cheer each other on, because that's really important to have, especially first starting out in business.
I completely agree. And I love what you all said. I mean, thank you so much for saying such lovely things about Formula Botanica. Oh, sorry, it's gone really dark in my office. I haven't turned all the lights on. That's my bad. But we've been enrolling new students as we speak. So you can see we've added 4 new students in the last 50 minutes. So one question I wanted to ask you, all 3 of you really, and we are coming to the end of our live stream, is what would you say to someone who is right at the start of their journey? Because a lot of the people watching are right at the start of their journey. They're thinking, I've maybe formulated something small. I'm just getting started. I have this dream. So what advice would you give them? I'm going to come to you first, Myrlande.
I would say doubt your doubts and just go for it. Because if you don't, the regret will eat you up. Just keep pushing, and when you go through your hurdles, make your mistakes, because you're going to make plenty. I'm still making them. Make your mistakes and move on. Don't dwell on it. Keep going. Just believe in yourself. Just tell yourself you can do it. Just keep going.
I love that. Make your mistakes. That's what being in business is all about, right? We all go through that. Cindy, what about you? And I'm sure that you answer this question quite a lot with your private label brand as well. So what advice would you give to someone who's first starting out, who's watching you today and feeling very inspired?
I would say just, I know for me, taking especially that very first course, to get in the lab and start actually hands-on making the products was really intimidating. And I would say just go for it. Just get in there and learn. And like I said, we all make so many mistakes, but we can learn from our mistakes and fine tune and really get our products better and create something fabulous.
I love it. I'm seeing a common theme here. So before I summarize that common theme, Christy, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting out and is watching you and thinking, wow, I love what Christy's created. How could I get there too?
I would say start where you're at and do the best you can with the resources that you have. Don't try to rush the process. You're in the process, so enjoy that time. Take your time. You're not competing with anybody else. So figure out where you're at along that journey and, appreciate every little step of the way and what you're learning, because you're going to learn so much and it's exciting, and you are going to have failed formulations. I had tons of them. And I think what you learn as you become a formulator is that failure is okay. It's okay to fail. You have to fail over and over again to get, better at anything. And it taught me to accept that and to be okay that mistakes happen. And I'm just going to push forward and do the best I can today and have progress. So believe in yourself. Definitely believe in yourself.
I love it. Embrace your mistakes, believe in yourself, doubt your doubts. That was a great one, Myrlande. Just go for it. And I think that's one thing that we see quite a lot with people who are watching us. They often think, I almost need someone to give me permission to just do it. Well, this is your permission to just do it, because if this is your dream, then you should absolutely go for it. So we're coming to the end of our live stream, and I have one more question for all of you, which really ties in with the fact that enrollment is currently open. So what would you say to someone who is considering enrolling with us? How has Formula Botanica helped you? And I'm going to come to you first, Milan, because you're still at the top of my screen.
Actually, I have nothing but great things to say about Formula Botanica. I just won silver for 2 of my products, for Claire and for Eclair. Won silver this past July at the Free From Skincare Awards. As a new entrant, I was flabbergasted to win silver. I was expecting to go in there and, get the really good feedback that would help me learn and grow in my brand. But that was just a bonus. And I wouldn't have had that courage to go forth and do that hadn't I not joined Formula Botanica and went through all the courses and gained my knowledge and my confidence through formulating. And I say, go for it. You won't regret it. Join. If you thinking you want to formulate and have your own brand, you are in a good hands with Formula Botanica.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, first of all, for such kind words, but incredible about your awards as well. I mean, huge congratulations. I know we watched them come past earlier in the year, but just fantastic to hear about your successes. So I hope you have many, many more, but I'm sure you will. Yeah. Cindy, how about you? What would you say to someone who's considering enrolling with us? How has Formula Botanica helped you?
I would say Formula Botanica has really changed my life and changed my family's life. I absolutely love what I do, and going in and I do a little paperwork. I formulate. I research ingredients. My son does production. I mean, it's just been life-changing. And I would highly encourage anyone who's thinking about it also, once you complete the first program, take the other courses, take the more advanced courses, because you're just getting your feet wet and your knowledge will build with each course, with the advanced, with the anti-aging. You're just going to learn so much more that you're really going to get a solid foundation with Formula Botanica.
Oh, thank you so much for such kind words. And how amazing that you get to work with your children every day. I can't quite imagine working with mine, but they are 8 and 11. So maybe one day that will happen. But what a fantastic position of privilege to be in, to work with your family and have a fantastic family business. So Christy, you're last on my list, but certainly not least. What would you say to someone who's considering enrolling with us? How has Formula Botanica helped you?
Well, it is certainly life-changing. So within a year in business and all the education that you learn in Formula Botanica, it is so valuable. It takes you so far. So education is extremely important. And just jump in. If you're passionate about it, do it. We have been able in a year to have both of our products win Editor's Choice Awards and the Beauty Shortlist Awards. And we have also been featured in 3 consecutive issues of Vogue magazine, which I never in a million years thought that would happen. It wasn't even on my radar. We have also been able to be Leaping Bunny cruelty-free certified. We are also partners with an organization called One Tree Planted. We help plant trees, reforestation efforts. We go out in our local community with another organization called Tree Charlotte, and we physically, boots to the ground, getting dirty, planting trees in our local community. So it has opened up all of these doors and these opportunities. Another thing that was really cool that I got to do with another business owner is that we met with congressional staff members of the United States to discuss advocacy efforts for small businesses in regards to legislation geared towards cosmetics. And we wanted to make sure that these congressional members are not forgetting about the small business owner. So it has opened up so many doors. When you get education, you open doors for yourself. And if formulation is a passion for you and you love working with natural ingredients and learning about science and the body and how ingredients can really, benefit your skin and so much more, then I say do it. It is life-changing. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, all three of you. I mean, first of all, thank you for saying such incredible things. I mean, obviously, we didn't know what you were going to say. I'd hoped that you'd say nice things, but I was very, very just thrilled to hear them. And thank you so much for giving us an hour of your time today, for answering our questions, for answering the audience's questions. It's been fantastic being on live with you. And I'm glad my voice has held up. Thank you so much, Wayne, for stepping in and coming to support me as well. One final thing is that Nadine in the chat has asked which Formula Botanica courses you all took. Well, you all took the International Organic Skincare Entrepreneur Program, which is currently open for enrollment until Tuesday. That's the 5th of October at 4 p.m. UK time. That is 11 a.m. Eastern time. So mark it in your calendar because you do not want to miss this deadline. We've had hundreds and hundreds of students enroll with us already. It's fantastic. They are storming through their coursework. Last time we went live, people were jumping on going, I've already completed module 1. I've already completed module 2. These are the action takers, and they are in there right now changing their life already, much like Cindy and Myrlande and Christy. Oh, look, we just enrolled another student. Welcome to Formula Botanica. So thank you so much to the three of you. It's been fantastic talking to you this evening. If anyone has any other questions, I mean, obviously just come into our Skincare Entrepreneur Mastermind group on Facebook. Post them up there. There are lots of graduates in there who are always happy to answer your questions. And make sure you go and buy the products that Myrlande and Christy and Cindy make, because obviously we need to support our indie beauty artisans. They are fantastic. They are doing amazing work. They are right at the top of our graduates gallery at the moment. So if you go to formulabotanica.com and you click on graduates at the top, you will see all three of their brands lined up right at the top there as well. So go and click on their pages, their graduate gallery, go and click on their profiles and go and visit their website and then go and buy something, because you want to. Their products and formulations sound incredible. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you to our fantastic audience. It's been lovely having you on. And we'll be back again tomorrow with our admissions Q&A, which will have, I think, Lisa and Kelly and Becky.
Yes.
Good, got
yes.
that right.
Yeah, that's right.
So 3 members.
So many lives.
Yeah, I know, so many lives. 3 members of our student experience team will be live on Facebook and YouTube tomorrow to answer your admissions questions live. So we hope to see you there. Have a great Sunday wherever you are in the world, and we'll be seeing you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.